So hey TRTL.
Hello.
Does it feel weird when people call you TRTL?
Yeah. It's mad. I'm like, who's that? Sometimes I don't respond.
You're like, oh yeah, that's me. It's so lovely to have you on the podcast
Lovely
today.
to be here too.
Thank you for saying yes. We really appreciate it. And to you guys watching, we've got some exciting stuff going to happen in this episode. So before we jump into all the great stuff you've done, please introduce yourself to the people.
I am TRTL. I'm an artist from North London. And I make music, like it's a bit of a mix between, I'd say like neo soul and drill and maybe like a couple other bits in between. But yeah, that's basically me.
I love that. And what are some words, like just a little fun thing, what are some words, a few, maybe like 3 words that friends and families would use to describe you?
I'd say unserious, but like in a good, in a good way. Like I don't take life too seriously. Caring. I'd like to think I'm quite caring. I hopefully they think I'm caring too. Oh, that's a bit of a sticky one. And loving.
Oh,
I think
nice.
Yeah. If you ask them, they might say something different, but
that's what you try to be to them.
Yeah.
And even just speaking about your like family, you've mentioned in your bio that you come from a musical background, a musical family, and you know it's definitely like God knew that this was going to be the path you take.
Yeah.
But I'd love for you to share a little bit about your musical journey in those earlier days.
So like I grew up in church, but like, I still go to church now. But my dad, he was part of like this group that he had called Storm or something. They were based like in England, but I think it was his friends from back home in Montserrat and stuff. They used to play out in carnival and stuff like that. And then now like he saved and that.
Saved and sanctified.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So he plays the bass in church and stuff. And then my mum, she's like from when I was young, from all I can remember is her singing in church as part of the praise and worship team. And then like we used to, sometimes people would come around, like my dad's friends, we had like a little home studio. Nice. They'd come around and record sometimes. I remember my mum sometimes doing like harmonies and stuff like that. So that was like the basis. And then like instrument wise, my dad and my mum, they got us playing the piano. I hated it, man. I never continued with it, but they got us on the piano from young and just like other instruments and stuff. And yeah, that's basically like the main influence, I think, from growing up.
That is so nice. It must be like amazing just having music constantly in the house as a child. All you know, experiencing your mom singing and things like that. At what point did you start to join in? Like, did you join the choir at church, or was your mom like, hey, come sing with me? Or what was that kind of dynamic there?
I think like I always liked music and stuff, but I never really wanted to start on the writing thing because I just thought it was like proper cringy. That I didn't want to be that person. But I started in the praise and worship team at church. I don't know when I started, like maybe 2020 or something. Not 2020 because we were all in lockdown.
I was about to be like, okay.
Maybe just before or just after. But I think I had started writing before joining the praise and worship team because I started writing from when I was at uni and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think there was just like, I heard there was a singer called IAMDDB. I'd heard her Colours performance. And once I heard that, I was like, yeah, man, I want to be able to write music that's like this, because the way she wrote, it was like it just sounded so effortless and so like cool and relatable. Yeah. But then she was coming with the flows and the harmonies. I was like, this is mad. I want to be able to do something like this. So then I think it was probably that same week I wrote my first song and then just like continued from there.
Even just speaking about that artist and other artists similar to that, are those people that you listened to and were like, okay, this is how I want to sound? Or Was it like experimental? How did you, because I would describe me with my infinite wisdom. I would describe your sound as like singy rap a lot of the time. Like definitely harmonies, layered, all these things. But how did you come to like develop that sound yourself?
I think it was a lot of trial and error. Like initially when I first started writing, I was just on YouTube looking for beats, and it was always like IAMDDB type beats. And that was just my sound I was sticking to. It was IAMDDB, H.E.R, and SZA. They were like my top three. Yeah. So like initially it was a lot of singing. It was a lot more like R&B and stuff like that. But I think as I like grew with writing and stuff, and I was looking at different and new beats on YouTube, new genres, I was just able to experiment more with like what I'd learned from IAMDDB and H.E.R and SZA, and then transfer that to like a drill beat or something, like something completely different, and just see what the two genres merging together would sound like. So yeah, it was just, I think it was just a lot of like allowing myself to be free and experimental whilst writing, and just seeing what came out. Yeah.
Even like talking about like that period of time of being experimental and allowing yourself to try things. From your bio, you spent like 3 years. Like you started writing in 2017, then you started releasing in 2020. And there was a period of time where it was almost like an incubation, where you were writing, and that you didn't have the pressure of having to release. So tell us about the point that you were like, yeah, I'm going to start releasing music now.
So yeah, it was in 2020. So I was writing before. No one knew that I was writing. Like my friends didn't know, like barely any of my family knew. I wanted to keep it all secret and stuff like that. But then 2020, the whole madness of COVID happened and stuff. And then I lost my nan during that period as well. And I think like just that whole experience, it just like really brought home to me that life's not forever. Because you know when you think someone's going to be around forever, and it was like, and then the reality hits you. So then I was like, well, there's no point sitting around doing nothing. Like something's going to have to come out at some point. And even if it's not perfect, at least I can just like grow to a place. I don't know if like it will ever be perfect, but at least you can just keep growing and like seeing where the journey takes you. So that was my main driving force, really.
And when you started to release that first song, you started to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to be an artist. What was the response of the people around you? Because if they didn't even know you were writing, now the song is out, it's in public. You know, that Spotify thing is out there.
Yeah, for real.
What was the response like?
Thankfully, everyone was like really supportive. I think my main worry was that I was going to put out music and people were like I thought people were going to be two-faced about it. So like they would be to my face like, oh, this is nice. And then to each other, they're like, oh, have you heard that new song? Blah. To be fair, they could be still doing that. I don't know. You know what I mean? It is what it is. What can you do? But thank God, like everyone was really encouraging and like supportive with it. And it wasn't really a thing where I like went around telling people specifically. I just put it up on my Instagram one day, and then like whoever saw it knew, and then whoever didn't is still left in the unknown. But yeah, thankfully, as far as I'm aware, it was well received. So yeah.
And when you started releasing, did you go by Trtl? Like, what was the journey with coming up with your name?
Jeez.
Tell the truth, because I know it's hard, the story.
Oh my gosh. So initially, when I started, so the whole concept was like, I was more shy then than I am now, but I'm like quite introverted. And you see like turtles and stuff like that. Like, you know, they got their shell on that's like their home. So I was thinking like, oh, music is like my home. Like, this is my place of comfort. This is my place of hiding. If I call myself Trtl, then like the whole world will understand. Do you know what I mean? The whole world will understand and know that this is what I meant. Anyways, I went with the name Trtl, and like there was one friend that I told at the time, and she was like, yeah. We didn't even talk anymore. Do you know?
Sounds like someone you don't need.
Do you know what I mean? She made me call myself Trtl. Anyway, though, there was like a video. There was this footballer who had listened to one of my songs. It was like I don't know if it was like a podcast thing or what it was, but then so I think it was one of his friends was showing him songs and showed him my song. And he was like, oh, guess what the artist's name is? And he was like, what? And then the guy was like, Trtl. They zoomed into his face, and he was like, he looked confused. I said, no, it can't be me causing that confusion. So then ever since then, I was like, nah, forget the Trtl thing. Like, let's go with TRTL. Then I'm back to like the first place I started. Whenever anyone asks me, what does TRTL stand for? I'm like, oh, crap.
You still have to tell them.
Long days. So I'm trying to think of like something else.
You need to be like, take.
So, someone said to me, too real to lie. And I was like, okay.
Do you know what?
Cool. Do you know
that
what I mean?
bangs.
See what I'm saying?
And with the style of music you make, it's like, cool.
Exactly.
It's like, too real to lie.
Do you know what I mean? It makes
It's a little hair flick.
It makes sense though. It makes sense.
But do you tell people about the Trtl story and how it used to be?
Yeah.
So when it was Trtl, was it like Trtl spelled Turtle? Or
No,
it was
still
always spelled
TRTL, but it was like a capital T and lowercase RTL. It's actually embarrassing.
But it's part of your journey.
Yeah.
Because I feel like TRTL works now because it's so like TRTL. Like
It just
fluent in your mouth.
Yeah,
you know?
do you know what I mean?
But yeah, the Trtl story. I remember I can't remember where I heard you say it, and I was like, that is funny. That's gross.
Yeah. You've got to start somewhere, I guess.
And you've mentioned some of the people you like listen to help you curate your sound. But what are some of the music genres within like Christian music, outside of Christian music, that you love to listen to as a consumer?
I like R&B and like Afro-Christian music. So like S5E12, she's cold. Up there, man, up there. Also like the rapping genres. Obviously, Leftfield have their stuff and that's absolutely amazing. They're so cold. But I think like a lot of the rapping stuff I listen to, there's an artist called IAMDDB.
Mm-hmm.
He's cold, he's proper heavy. IAMDDB's up there, you know. IAMDDB's up there with like, I listened to all of the lot in Leftfield, like I had them on my playlist before I even became
you were a fan first.
Yeah. I was a fan. You've actually put me on the spot.
Who you listen to on the way here?
I didn't have my headphones.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, artist, you should be listening to music in your sleep.
I know, it was literally just the train lines I was hearing. It was a long journey. But yeah, I think I used to listen to a lot of Canola when he was releasing. Yeah. Golden Teardrops. That song was on repeat. Yeah. I'd say like on the rap side of things, I listen probably IAMDDB. Probably IAMDDB the most.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. A lot of like UK people you mentioned. That's really interesting because I think it's like often it's quite easy to draw on the big names in America, but obviously you're very much rooted in UK music, and I really love that. Okay, so even with like developing your sound or putting out music and even trying to like make it genre bending and all these things, how do you navigate your creative process, like with trends coming in and out of what's like popping at any given time? How do you navigate what you want to actually put out?
I think it's just got to be like just natural to myself. So like I don't actually listen to too much music. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing, but I try not to take in too much because I feel like a lot of the time, sometimes like I think influence is really good, but I don't want to like copy. I don't want to fall into the trap of copying. So I try and like I listen to certain songs, but I'll have like the same ones on repeat. And they're like my standard for like maybe a year or something. But from those songs, I'm able to draw like inspirations and stuff. But then, I think for me, like creatively, it's just like if the beat's nice and like if I can resonate with the beat, then I'll go ahead with it. But like I can't just go ahead with a beat just because it's like a trendy beat at the time or whatever, because the lyric is just not gonna work. I don't know if that answers.
No, that makes complete sense. And I think it's really easy in like these days, TikTok sounds trending or the TikTok artists popping off at any given point. It's really easy to like run to that side of things. Oh, okay, now we're doing drill. Everybody's doing drill. Like, I think it's more of being able to hear something that like connects and then produce into that. And I guess part of my question as well is, what's your process with like writing? Are you writing first? You know, are you coming up with lyrics and you're like, oh, okay, I need to find something that this fits to? Or are you finding the beat first and then writing to the beat?
I think it's a bit of both. Like sometimes I've had stuff that I've written to like YouTube instrumentals and stuff, and then a producer would send me a beat and I'm like, oh, okay, this works on that. So like it can be transferred, or I might have written something to a different beat and then there's another beat that I think it sounds better on. So it's a little copy and paste or whatever. Yeah. Or sometimes like if I'm writing from fresh and I hear the instrumental, sometimes like words or phrases might come to me and I'll just continue from that. Or I might have like a phrase or something from in the week or from in the church service or something that I've written down, and then like just go off of there and like continue writing. Really, I wouldn't say there's like a set way that I write, but I think just wherever the inspiration comes and however it comes the quickest, I just take it and run.
Yeah, I love that. Are you're quick to like grab your phone, put it in the notes, or you're quick to write it down so that it's like when the time comes, this line is going to be used.
Exactly. But crazy thing is, the other day I was trying to sort out my phone calendar. I lost all of my notes. There was like over 2,000.
No. But you can like log into your email or something.
I don't know the password.
That's not even funny. That's so sad.
It's a long day, so like all of them are gone.
Oh no. But, you can start again, I guess.
I guess so.
Oh, that's tough. Like all those random notes from, it's fine. Like,
gone.
Surely there's a way to get them back.
It must be. I'm going to be on Apple.
Yeah, like, hello. Yeah. Do you know I'm an artist? For real. 2,000 notes. Yeah, no. Okay, so if someone was coming to discover you for the first time, listen to you for the first time, what's the song of yours that you would tell them to start at to best know who you are?
That's a good question.
It is, you know. I thought I ate when I wrote that one. I'm not gonna lie.
You ate that. I'd say Back to It, I think.
Okay.
Back to It. The reason I'd say that is because that's like the first song I released with just me just rapping and like having melodies and harmonies in the background. And I hadn't done anything like that before, but I think after releasing that, a lot more of my sound has like followed on that route. So I think it's a good starting point to continue on like the newer journey, if that makes sense.
That's nice. And what was the story of writing that song? Like, what was it about? What was the inspiration with it?
So there's a producer called Tagar. He sent me the instrumental, and then I just started writing. It started like, the first phrase that I say is, they say that I've been quiet for a minute. I think I hadn't released anything for a while. So that was no one actually said that I'd been quiet. You know what I mean?
All the truth of the matter. No one said you've been quiet for a minute.
Sometimes you just gotta like create a bit of buzz. So no one said much, but I started it like that. And I think the whole thing was just about, I was probably just ranting a bit, to be honest. I don't know if it's got like a specific theme, but I'd say I touched on like wanting God to use me to do his will. I think I called it Back to It because it was like, okay, I've been quiet for this long. I've not released anything of my own for this long. So now let's
back to it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that was the kind of vision behind it. And just like, yeah, I think when I wrote it, I was kind of in the mindset of like, although I might have doubt, although I might have fear, although I might have this and that could like oppose me from achieving or fulfilling what God's will is for my life, let me just forget about all of that and just like get back to it.
That's so good. Yeah,
that was that basically.
I love it. A little bit earlier you mentioned, when I was asking about like artists you like, you mentioned the whole like Leftfield collective and how before you were a part of it, you were a fan. And we love the Leftfield Collective over here. My husband is one of the talented artists. And then you have like Names Bliss, you have The Original, you have like all these incredible, marvelous, incredible artists in their own right, who come together to collab, to do music together, to put shows on together, to just share opportunities, to like just like-minded people. And obviously my husband's a part of them, and like just the amazing stuff that you guys have put out. But you're the only woman in the collective. Like you're like the sis. You're like like I remember you guys. This is so funny. But you guys did like a show like a few months ago, and I was coming to take a picture. And like, it was just all these big guys. And you were just in the middle, like, just looking cute. And you were like this. You were just looking cute. And all the guys were like, and you were just there like.
That's my go-to face. I know nothing else.
But what's it like being a part of Leftfield Collective?
It's actually so mad. It's so inspiring because I feel like everyone's so hardworking. Their work ethic is crazy. Well, firstly, they're like, proper talented, but then when you add the work ethic on top of that, like they're doing big things, and it's so inspiring to see like people, they're like my brothers, like seeing my brothers achieving such big things and being able to do so well, and like seeing them do it inspires me and motivates me to do more. I think there was, before Back 2 it was released, that year where I was quiet, I was thinking like, I think that was my first year in Leftfield. Oh, this is only my second year actually. I think that was my first year, but I was like, I felt bad because I haven't put out anything, and I just saw them working, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how can I even be a part of such greatness and I'm not doing anything? So it like being a part of them, it just really pushes me and inspires me to do a lot more. So man, I'm thankful that I'm a part of the collective.
Now, and we love you as the part of the collective. I feel like you bring like a softness of like obviously feminine vibes, because it's a very masculine heavy space, but also just like a newness, because there's a united sound, but it's like united in different ways, and you are all very different. And even something I noticed as a music fan is you weren't really doing many shows, and then you joined Leftfield, and then you are doing shows. So that's already one like amazing thing that's come from being part of such an amazing collective who are all incredible performers live. And that last show,
100 Club.
100 Club. That was good.
That was mad.
Let's actually talk about that, because you had like a full set, and this is the first time I'd seen you do like a full, like it was like 15-20 minute set. How was that? Because I know you're an introvert.
Like I'm proper in myself. I think when I first started making music, I didn't even want to perform. Like I said, I didn't even want to show my face. I was like, let me just do it. Like
faceless.
I wanted to wear a mask and that. It was, imagine Trtl with a mask. Like it's stupid.
Sorry?
It's stupid. But like, I think being a part of Leftfield, just doing music in general, but then being a part of Leftfield, like I've really had to step out of my comfort zone. I remember we done a Bellamy set last year, December, I think it was. And that was my first time like rapping in public or doing anything like that. I think if I wasn't a part of the collective, first of all, the opportunity probably would have never come up, or if it would have been like 10 years down the line. Secondly, I probably would have said, no, sorry, I can't do it because I'm too nervous. But like, having like performances, obviously that wasn't a show as such, but it was still like a kind of live performance. Having things like that beforehand just helped me to build my confidence and helped me to become more comfortable with like rapping and things like that. And then obviously Bliss had his show. He had a show like a while back before I was a part of Leftfield that I opened for, but then a bit further down the line, I think it was last year or the year, like the years
are blended,
you know what I mean? But there was one show where I came out to perform like one song, and like just being able to have that experience, it just really helped me to just build my confidence and know like, oh, okay, this is how this song should be performed, or like, this is what you can do. This is how you can interact with the crowd and stuff like that. And to be honest, I feel like that 100 Club performance was like at the time, that was my best performance, I think. Because I think because I had done stuff beforehand And I had seen how these guys were like performing and stuff like that and what they done. And I was really able to like reflect on myself and what I was doing. It helped me to be able to just like go out there and just
give it your all, really.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So.
Even like down to like the fact that you're doing singing stuff, you're doing rap, like the breath control, like the working the stage, the talking bits in between the songs as well, because you need to keep the crowd warm. Like, what was like, were you having conversations with the guys about your stage presence, or were they like encouraging you, giving you like advice or feedback on stuff that by the time you got to this show, you knew like you had a set together that you were ready to perform?
It wasn't even a thing where we had like discussed it as such, but I think just like seeing them perform and things like that. So I'd seen like Dave had a show that I went to. It wasn't with Leftfield, it was with another artist. And I saw him there and I was able to take tips from that. Seeing Samson perform, I was able to take tips from that. Bliss, D-Vision, like just watching all of them. They don't even know that I was like making mental. Like, I don't want to be the creep on the corner, but like that was literally me just making mental notes of what they were doing. Like, are they interacting with the crowd in this way, or are they saying to do a call and response here? Like, let me think about certain songs that I can do a call and response with, or like, oh, they're walking around the stage. Like, let me try and like do a couple laps around the stage.
Couple laps.
Yeah, see where it gets me. So yeah, it was more a thing where I was just like observing and just taking notes and stuff. So
that's amazing, and I love to see it. I hope that they like pull some more women into the collective, because I think you bring a flavor there that, you know, is amazing and great in that group. And also like how they're all individual artists, but there's so much like camaraderie between you guys that when someone has something or when someone releases something, everyone else gasses it up, pushes it, puts it on stories, this and that. And even with like your EP from last year, so you released Traveling Mercies. Beautiful. I love the cover art as well. I'm a big fan of good cover art. This was a great project, and it really shows like different parts of you, because some of the singles we had already enjoyed, and then some of the stuff was new. First of all, before we go into a few of the songs, I would love for you to maybe just talk about putting this project together.
So I think there was like a couple Traveling Mercies before the actual Traveling Mercies came out. And it was like just songs that I had that I wanted to put out as a project, but I just didn't put out because I was overthinking it all and everything like that. And to be fair, it was a blessing in disguise anyway. But this Traveling Mercies project was mainly written in 2023, I think. Don't take me my word though, but like it was a couple years ago. And that I had just left my job and I was writing, and I feel like the reason why I called it Traveling Mercies is because the songs, although the songs were written in similar periods, they were all from like different mind spaces and different perspectives. So I really just wanted to focus in on like writing from different perspectives. But the one thing that was common within like all the songs was that God's grace was always present. So it was called like Traveling Mercies because I'm going through all of these feelings. I'm going through all of these emotions, but the mercies of God was still very present throughout that journey. That was basically it.
And that even links to God's Child interlude, like you really just speaking about being God's child in that moment. Tell us a little bit about this song.
So that song, I don't know if you know Cleo Soul. She's got a song called Know That You Are Loved. And that kind of like, the way that it was so simple, but it's like, because so many people suffer with like not loving themselves and stuff like that. So just having such a simple song where you're able to declare that you are loved, I just wanted to be able to create something that was simple but powerful as well. So like I was just reflecting on life and stuff, and I just thought like, I like the look of nature, so I like looking at the tree. I'm not a fan of insects and stuff like that. Like,
nature fan, okay.
Let me not act up. But I like looking at trees and stuff and like grass and just deep in creation, like, wow, God created this. But then sometimes like I love the look of it and I think it's so beautiful. And then I forget that us as humans are a part of creation as well. Like all this beauty that God installed into the mountains and the leaves and everything, like he installed it into us as well. Good. So that was kind of like the place where God's Child interlude came from, where the start of the song, I'm like questioning myself for the daily. Yeah, I'm questioning myself for the daily on like God's goodness. And then near the end of the song, like I come to the realization that, yeah, I am a part of this greatness and this creation, and this is how he's made me and the rest of the humans. And like, yeah, I just wanted it to be a thing where like anyone who sings along to it can come to the realization that they're a part of God's creation as well. They're cherished, they're loved, and like he's got them for life.
That's so good. I love how you start it with the question and it's almost like you get to the end, you've got the answer.
Yeah, literally.
That's really good. And yeah, even with the song you mentioned, the Clear Soul song, is that like affirmational, like here's a truth I can speak to myself, which is so needed in this current society we're in. I really love that song. Another one that I love is Try. I think the beat of this is just such a vibe. It's such a little bop, like a try. You know? Just a little, not too much, just a little
shuffle.
So please tell us a little bit about writing this song, producing it as well.
So the same producer for Back to It produced Try as well as Taylor too. And he sent me the beat, and initially like the way Try came out is not what I had in my head. Like I was thinking, oh yeah, like I can reverse my vocals, and then you know, like when you reverse
your vocals.
Yeah. Like it was, I don't know what was going on in my head, but I was like, I can reverse it, and you know when you reverse something, it's like that kind of thing. So when I was saying like, I think I was saying it like thinking that it was in reverse. So I was like, do you know? I don't even know if that's making sense. Like my head's just a bit.
It's creative. It's creative.
I guess so, if you want to call it that. But I was like, yeah. So I think that's how I came up with the melodies and stuff. And then I just layered it with harmonies and stuff like that. But concept-wise, Try was like, so like often I doubt the gifting that God's given me. And I think like, you know, sometimes you got your off days where like, I don't know, you're writing and whatever you wrote, it might just not be the one. And like, I used to get them a lot, and I used to be like, okay, cool. Like maybe this writing thing, I've got it all twisted. Like maybe it's not actually for me, blah, blah, blah. I doubt a lot that, because like I'm still working on it. I'm not perfect. I'm still working on it. So I doubt a lot sometimes the gifting that God's given me. I doubt where he's taking me sometimes. And sometimes I just think like, how can it be me? How can I be the chosen vessel? Do you know what I mean? But Try is literally about like forgetting about the doubts, forgetting about all of that nonsense, and just like it's coming from a space of, if you just give God your yes, and if you just give God your try, you can do so much more than you would if you sat there with your doubts and your fears and stuff like that. So in the chorus, I say, I just got to raise this mindset. So it's like, I need to get out of this space of these negative thoughts, and I need to raise it and like elevate myself to where I'm seeing what God can see, and I'm seeing from his perspective. And then once you're there, like, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Do you know what I mean? Right. So like, yeah, it's just understanding that with God, you're so much better. And with God, doubt, fear, all of that, there's no chance for it to exist, because you know that there's so much greatness with him. So just give him your try.
I love that. I love what you said, give him your try, give him your yes, give him your try. Because sometimes like even the fullness of a yes feels like too much. But giving him your try is like, God, here.
It's
like,
just a little bit, but he can do so, like, all we need is faith as small as a mustard seed, but he can do so much with that. So yeah, that was literally what it was about.
That's so good. And even links on to like used by you, because it's like, I've given you my try, and now I'm being used by you.
You got
the chance. Do you see? I'm locked in. Please talk about that song.
So Used by You, that was produced by JT, and that was actually the last song that was written on the EP. It was written to like a YouTube beat, and then JT sent me that instrumental, and I was like, yeah, this is cold. did he actually send it to me? He either sent it to me or we worked on it in the studio. But either way, when I heard it, I was like, this is cold.
Yeah.
And then, we just recorded it, laid up a couple harmonies and stuff. But it's like a simple song. But it's just about, being used by God and just emptying yourself out to be his vessel. Because I think sometimes, especially with this whole music stuff and even just like being a creative in general, obviously the creative gifts were given to us, but sometimes it's easy to forget that they were given to us, and like you get lost in your head thinking that like, oh, I had this, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is me. Like, it's not. It's a gift. So like, you just gotta hone into the gifts and like hone into the giver of the gifts and just be filled to be used, basically. Just like the sole purpose is just to bring glory back to God. So that's literally the meaning behind Used by You.
I love that song, and I loved when you did it like live, because you do like a little call and response. It's one of those songs where you're like, oh, okay, audience participation. But I love that one. That's a really good song. Was that a single beforehand or no?
It was a single beforehand. I think that was the last single before the EP was released.
Yeah, love that one. We'll do one more. Over It. Tell us a little bit about Over It.
Over It. So I was in a job that I hated. Like, I studied food science and nutrition.
Oh,
so like,
okay.
I really love food and like all things like food development and stuff. So I thought I was getting into my first food development job. I was just sitting there, it was like some long admin job. I said, I'm not cut out for this. So I think I lasted about 10 months there, but even that was a drag. But when I left there, I was just like really low. And I think I got to a place where I was just completely over, hence the title, Over It. I was completely over working a 9 to 5 because I felt like I was only working it to make the CEO happy and like to fulfill his dreams and just to make a couple pounds to get by for myself. I was over that. Then I was just thinking like, oh, it's a lie. Like, this 9 to 5 is a joke.
It's a scam.
Yeah, it's a scam. I was over being scammed, basically. So then I heard an instrumental online. There was this guy just doing acoustic instrumentals. So I said, okay, cool, let me write to this. And like, it all just started flooding out, basically. And then when I went to get the song mixed and mastered and like sort out the instrumental, the producer went missing. Like, he's nowhere to be found on YouTube and that. So my brother's friend, James, he plays the guitar. So he reproduced it and like played in the guitar, played in the bass and stuff and made it what it needed to be. But that one's quite personal because all the songs are personal, to be fair, but I think I was like really low when I wrote that. So being able to listen to that back now, like, I got a 9 to 5 again and stuff, but
You're trying to live. You know what I mean?
But this time I'm actually happy with the job that I've got and like listening to Over It and then reflecting on life now, I can see where God's taken me.
That's good.
And it's like a testimony in itself. Sometimes I feel like, I think often in my music, I try to not focus on the lows, but like speak about the lows, because there's Christians who sometimes think that they're going through lows and like they're depressed or whatever, and they think they're just going through that by themselves. And like, because all they see is this perfect Christian who doesn't go through anything. But I just want to be real with my music. So Over It was written in a dark place, but reflecting on it, you can see where God's taken me and where he continues to move me. So
that's so good, man. And it's so true. Like, you're right. Like, there's definitely a lot of areas within our Christian spaces, music industries, where you only focus on the joy and you only present the joy, the good things that happen. And it can be really difficult to be real about the vulnerabilities of what's going on. But I always say, and I always talk about, if you're going to share something that's happened or experience you have, share it in a way of healing. And that even in that way, it doesn't mean like you dampen it. Like, you don't have to be like, you don't have to pretend you love that role. You don't have to pretend that it wasn't really bad for you. But you present it in a way of healing, in the sense that the song itself is beautiful to enjoy. It's full of the truth of what happened. There's something about sharing truth. Yeah, but then also the person listening to it can go back to the fact that you're not in that place anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that wasn't the end point. Yeah. That was a point, but it was not the end point.
It's true.
And so I think that's why it is important for you to say stuff like that. Like, hey, moving on however many years, X many years, you know, I'm still working to live because we need to do that. But I'm not in the same mind frame I was then.
Yeah.
You know? And even with you saying like, oh, a lot of your songs might touch on sad things and stuff like that. How did you get the like confidence or the boldness to share like vulnerable parts of yourself in the music?
I think it's just the thing where like everything that I write, I always want it to be true to myself. So I think I look less on like having the confidence to be vulnerable, and I focus more on like, if I'm writing music, it has to be vulnerable, because I think that's why I didn't want to do it in the first place. Like that, I don't want to share my emotions to people that I don't know. I barely do that with people that I do know. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I just think I just enjoyed writing music, and if I had to do it, it had to be real and it had to be truthful. So yeah.
No, I love that. And I definitely think that this project and even the music, the singles you've put out since then has shown that. Do you have more stuff to come? Like, as much as you want to say, but you have more stuff to come that actually shares more of those like moments in time that you've experienced things good and bad that you think when people listen to, they're going to be able to like clock onto, maybe relate to in some way.
Yeah. So I'm working on a single now, finishing it off. It's called Shine. And it's basically about like wanting to shine the light that Christ has given us, wanting to shine it in the dark places of the world, because like that's where it's needed the most. But also battling with like back to this 9-to-5 business, battling with like the reality of working a 9-to-5 whilst trying to like pursue an artist life. Like it gets a bit difficult, an artist lifestyle, an artist career.
Yeah.
It gets difficult because you'll finish work, get back at like 6 or whatever, then head to the studio or then like be doing something. So it feels like there's no rest, and you're getting, like I'm getting tired, but I've still got a light that needs to be shining. So that's basically what that song is about. And I feel like, sure, like it can't be me. There's other creatives who are tired that need to share their light. So I think like they'll be able to relate to it. And even not just creatives, but just people trying to pursue their dreams or like just live life in general. Like, and just be a positive influence to those around you. I hope they'll be able to relate to the song. And there's a couple others, thank you. There's a couple others in the works, but like I've got a problem at the moment with not finishing songs. So
we're gonna keep you on the accountable for the songs that you need to release to the world.
Please and thank you.
Well, we're coming towards the end of the episode, and honestly, it's been so good chatting to you.
It's been lovely.
I'm excited to see what God does through your career, where He's taking you, what the plans are, because the Bible says that they are good and they are for a good well-being and a good future. But I would love for you to maybe, like we at SheHH, we're really passionate about legacy. I'd love for you to maybe touch on what you want your legacy as Trtl, however long the name stays for, because we don't know.
Yeah, it might change.
It might change, you know. But as long as you are who you are, what do you want your legacy to be?
I think I just want to leave behind a legacy of. I want to be like an example to people who are shy or people who feel like they lack self-confidence or they don't feel worthy. I just want to be an example that like when you allow God in your life and you allow Him to like move certain things out of the way and like really lay down the foundations to your path, He can really like change you around. When I tell you, when I used to go to the school discos at school, I was not dancing, like I was shy. Now I'm performing in front of stages and like with like a couple hundred people. That can only be God. It's not me.
Be God.
Do you know what I mean? I still like struggle talking in front of people, but God is just really like, when you give God your yes, He orders your steps in a way that you could have never imagined. He opens doors in a way that you could have never imagined. And like, you begin to live out your, like, I don't want to say your wildest dreams. It's not Hannah Montana, do you know what I mean? But like, you begin to do mad things that you could have never experienced just because you trusted God. So I just want, I think my legacy, I just want people to know, like, just trust God and allow him to do the rest. Just lean on him and allow him to hold you up. Like, you don't have to do this by yourself. Yeah. You don't have to go through it we weren't made to do it by ourselves, because when God put us on this earth and when he sent his son to die, his son didn't just die, like, he rose again. Yep. So we're on this earth to be powered by the source. Yeah. So just like keep relying on the source. I don't know if that's a legacy, but like, that's just what I want people to know.
You want people to be able to go back and be like, oh, she was an artist that thought she couldn't do it and she did it. So I'm a person who thinks I can't do it, but I can.
That's it. Yeah, Nailed it.
You can get that for free if you want it.
Thank you, hon.
No, thank you so much, Trtl, for being on the podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the SheHH Podcast. If you did, please leave a like rating, comment down below, and share this episode with a friend. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at SheHH Podcast.